James back in Cleveland. Cavs right now taking it to the Lakers. Dominant second half.
LeBron so frustrated right now. Just a series of things just not going the Lakers' way.
James just 11 points as the Lakers lay a huge egg.
Last night, because that was the first time that I've seen LeBron James emotional outside of him winning NBA championships. And I was crying so hard in my hotel room that I damn near drowned my own self, okay? I almost drowned my own self.
He cried other than when Kobe died and when he got the record, he ain't cried in the NBA arena like that during the game. So the fact that he was even locked in and tuned into that let me know, like, we might be at the end now.
I sure hope that wasn't the last time we saw LeBron in Cleveland, because that was a terrible game by him. He had 6 turnovers and 3 baskets, one of the worst games ever played in Cleveland.
Let's talk about what everyone saw Wednesday night in Cleveland, but nobody wants to admit out loud. LeBron James might actually be done. Not taking a discount done. Not one more farewell tour done. We are talking about the real kind of done, where your body won't cooperate, where the juice is finally squeezed out, where Father Time stops losing and starts collecting.
Man, I'll be the one to tell you. Yes, he is.
What?
He's washed. Did you watch him last night?
It was one game.
Man, I ain't hearing that. He been having multiple games like this. I mean,
and before you torch me in the comments, hear me out, because this isn't just my take. The people who know him best, the analysts who've covered every step of his 22-year journey, and even LeBron himself are starting to say the quiet part out loud. Wednesday night wasn't just another regular season loss for the Lakers. It was something else entirely. Something we haven't seen from LeBron James in 20 years. The King cried. Not championship tears, not tears of joy or validation. Real, vulnerable, this might be it tears.
Last night, because that was the first time that I've seen LeBron James emotional outside of him winning NBA championships. And I was crying so hard in my hotel room that I damn near drowned my own self, okay? I almost drowned my own self.
Cleveland rolled out a first-quarter tribute video. Standard stuff, right? We've seen teams honor legends before, but this one hit different. Gloria James, LeBron's mother, showed up with the whole family. Bronny was on the court. The crowd wasn't just loud, they were reverential. This wasn't welcome back energy, this was goodbye energy. And LeBron felt it. The man who's built a career on mental toughness, on being locked in, on never showing weakness to opponents, he broke, wiped his eyes, looked up at the rafters. For a moment, the mask slipped completely off. Here's what makes this different from every other LeBron is declining conversation we've had over the past 5 years. It's not just the stats, though we'll get to those. It's not just the losses, though the Lakers are a mess. It's the admission, the acceptance, the acknowledgement that the end is actually visible now.
Question gets asked more, and the thought, creeps in my mind more at 41 years old of when the end is and where's the finish line for us to hang this thing up. So how much juice I can squeeze out of this orange, and how can I continue to? I'm in a battle with Father Time, and I'm kind of taking it personal.
Taking it personal. That's pride talking. That's a man who knows he's losing and hates admitting it. LeBron has spent 2 decades defying logic, rewriting what's possible for aging athletes, making us believe he could actually play until he's 50 if he wanted to. But Wednesday night, 11 points, 6 turnovers, 3 made field goals. One of the worst performances of his Cleveland career, and what might be his final game there as a player.
That wasn't the last time we saw LeBron in Cleveland, because that was a terrible game by him. He had 6 turnovers and 3 baskets, one of the worst games ever played in Cleveland.
The box score doesn't lie, but it also doesn't tell the full story, because the real story isn't about one bad game. It's about what that game represents. It's about the chronic sciatica that won't go away. It's about quitting wine. Yes, wine, one of LeBron's genuine pleasures in life, because his doctors told him it might help with his back issues. Think about that for a second. This is a billionaire who can afford any treatment, any therapy, any cutting-edge medical procedure on planet Earth, and he's reduced to giving up Cabernet because his body is breaking down in ways that money can't fix.
Which, as you know anything about LeBron, one of LeBron's pleasures in life is drinking very fine, expensive French or California wine. he has quit drinking it because his therapists and doctors have told him he's worried about, whatever that does to sciatica. So he's
This isn't the LeBron we know. The LeBron we know would barrel to the rim, absorb contact, and finish through 3 defenders while barking at the ref. The LeBron we know would put the team on his back in crunch time and will them to victory through sheer force of dominance. But that LeBron is gone, and what we're left with is still really good, don't get it twisted. 22 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists per game at 41 years old is absurd by any normal standard. He's still shooting 50% from the field. Those are numbers most players in their prime would kill for. But LeBron James was never supposed to be normal, and that's the problem. We're not comparing him to good players, we're comparing him to LeBron James. And by that standard, the decline is real, the end is near, and everybody knows it. Even the people who love him most are starting to say it out loud. Enter Tyus Jones, the Cavs point guard, who went on record and basically called LeBron washed, to his face, on camera, in 2025.
As a role player or coming off the bench or something, but like, he washed, man. I'll be the one to tell you. Yes, he is.
Now, Tyus walked that back a little when pressed, clarified he meant as the guy, not as a player entirely, but still. When was the last time anybody associated with LeBron's world publicly questioned whether he could still be the man on a championship team? When was the last time that question even got asked seriously? The answer is never. Because LeBron has always been the guy. Even when he teamed up with Wade and Bosh in Miami, he was still the best player on the floor. Even when Kyrie hit the shot in 2016, LeBron was still the engine that made everything work. Even when AD won Finals MVP in the bubble, everyone knew who really carried that team. But now we're genuinely debating whether LeBron James could be a high-level role player, a sixth man, a veteran presence. That's not slander, that's just reality starting to set in. And the Lakers? They're not built for this version of LeBron. They need him to be 2018 LeBron, dragging bums to the finals on his back. What they have is 2025 LeBron, who still has moments of brilliance but can't do it for 48 minutes 4 times a week for 6 months straight. The Western Conference is a bloodbath. Denver with Jokic, OKC with SGA and their ridiculous depth, Minnesota's defense, San Antonio with Wembanyama emerging, Phoenix if they ever get healthy. The Lakers aren't built to compete with any of those teams in a 7-game series, not with this version of LeBron, not with this roster construction. So what happens next? That's the billion-dollar question. Does LeBron run it back one more year with the Lakers, chasing ghosts and settling for first-round exits? Does he take the money and retire gracefully? Or does he do the unthinkable and go back to Cleveland for one final ride? Because make no mistake, Cleveland wants him back. The reporting is clear on that.
Team and league sources indicate the Cleveland Cavaliers would gladly welcome LeBron James back into the fold should he decide to leave the Los Angeles Lakers in free agency this coming offseason.
And honestly, it makes sense. Not basketball sense necessarily, though we'll get to that, but narrative sense, story sense, legacy sense. If LeBron is going to ride off into the sunset, where better to do it than the place where it all started? The place that burned his jersey in 2010, the place he came back to in 2014 and delivered the most important championship in franchise history, the place where Bronny scored his first NBA bucket, the place where, just this week, he cried on the court during a regular season game. The circle would be complete. The prodigal son returns one final time, not as a savior, but as a mentor. Not as the guy, but as the guy who helps the guy, Donovan Mitchell, get over the hump.
Exactly what they need. The exact middle missing piece. Because it's not about the basketball stuff. It's the other stuff. It's the, let me show you how to do this, son. Let me get you together.
Think about it. The Cavs have everything except playoff poise. They've got Donovan, who can go supernova on any given night. They've got Evan Mobley, who's a defensive monster when engaged. They've got Darius Garland running the point. They've got depth, shooting, coaching, and chemistry. What they don't have is someone who's been there. someone who won't flinch when the lights get brightest, someone who's hit the biggest shots, played in the biggest games, and knows exactly what championship basketball looks like when everything is on the line. That's what LeBron brings now. Not 30 points a night, not highlight reel dunks, but leadership, mentorship, championship DNA. And here's the kicker. The Cavs might actually be good enough to win with him in that role. This isn't the 2018 Cavs where LeBron dragged Kevin Love's corpse and a bunch of minimum contracts to the finals. This is a legitimate top 3 team in the East with all-star level talent and one of the deepest rosters in basketball. Add LeBron to that, even at 42 years old, even averaging just 15 to 18 points per game, that's a finals contender. Maybe not the favorite, but absolutely in the conversation. The question isn't whether Cleveland would take him. The question is whether LeBron's ego can handle not being the guy anymore. Can he accept coming off the bench? Can he accept being the second or third option? Can he accept that his role now is to make Donovan Mitchell better, not to be better than Donovan Mitchell? Because if he can, if he's truly evolved to that point in his career where legacy matters more than stats, where team success matters more than individual accolades, where going out the right way matters more than going out on top, then Cleveland makes perfect sense. It's poetic. It's full circle. It's the kind of ending that makes documentaries and 30 for 30s write themselves. But if he can't, if he still sees himself as a max contract, first option, face of the franchise superstar, then this drags out another year. The Lakers waste another season, and we have this exact same conversation next January when LeBron looks even slower and the losses pile up even higher. The tragedy of LeBron's career is that there's no perfect ending. He's not going to hit a game winner in Game 7 of the finals and walk off into the sunset like Jordan. He's not going to drop 60 in his final game like Kobe. Father Time is undefeated, and eventually everyone has to submit. But LeBron can still control how the story ends. He can still decide whether he's remembered for chasing ghosts in LA or for going home one last time to help Cleveland win another championship. He can still choose between being stubborn and being smart. Wednesday night in Cleveland felt like a turning point. Not because of the final score, not because of the tribute video, but because of the tears, because of the vulnerability, because of the admission, out loud, in public, to the world, that the end is coming.
Yes, he is.
What?
He's washed. Did you watch him last night?
It was one game.
Man, I ain't hearing that. He's been having multiple games like this.
The fans in Cleveland gave him that love. They showed up. They cheered. They honored him the way legends deserve to be honored. And LeBron felt it. Really felt it. Maybe for the first time in his career, he let himself feel it without the armor, without the bravado, without the need to prove he's still the king. So here's my prediction. LeBron plays one more year, maybe 2 if his body holds up, but it won't be in LA. It can't be in LA. The Lakers are going nowhere fast, and LeBron knows it. He'll go back to Cleveland, he'll take less money, he'll accept a reduced role, and he'll try to help Donovan Mitchell do what he couldn't do in 2018, win a championship without being the clear-cut best player on the floor. Will it work? Who knows? The East is loaded. Boston's still there, Milwaukee's dangerous when healthy, Philly's got pieces. But it doesn't really matter because the story isn't about winning anymore. The story is about closure, about coming home, about ending where it all began. LeBron James is 41 years old. His back hurts. His shooting percentage in clutch moments has declined. He's giving up wine to try to extend his career by a few more months. The critics are calling him washed. The box scores are getting uglier. The losses are piling up. And for the first time in his career, LeBron James is starting to admit that maybe, just maybe, Father Time is about to win. The king is mortal. The throne is empty. And the final chapter is being written whether we're ready for it or not. The only question left is, how does he want it to end?